Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So yes, in yesterday's video about the Celtics Game 2 review and preview, I mentioned that I wanted to talk about the Red Sox today. And the Red Sox are the only thing that I'm going to be talking about today. You know, whatever has happened with the other teams. Obviously the Patriots haven't played yet. By the time this video comes out, I'll be talking about those games in other videos. But today, I wanted to make a video just for the Boston Red Sox. So I hope everyone's okay with that. But I'm just trying to find like the things to say, you know, like. This team is an absolute dumpster fire. That's the best way to put it. The Red Sox, you know, I'm a huge Red Sox fan. I'm a huge baseball fan. My number one sport, contrary to everyone's popular sport in their opinions, baseball is my number one. It always will be in my heart. I'm a huge football guy now, but baseball is definitely number one. And the thing is, like, I know the sport isn't exactly as popular as it used to be. Understandably so. It's not like I'm blind to what's going on. I get it. I get why people believe that baseball is now boring. You either, in my opinion, you either really like it or you've liked it enough to make it through those, like, to recognize you've liked it enough to recognize that the game isn't the same and it might be slowing down and it's not as popular as it used to be. But if you liked it enough as I have, as you do on my level, that really doesn't matter. What does matter in the watching aspect is how good or how poorly, how well or how poorly your personal team that you root for is doing. I have watched 2 Red Sox games this season. It was Game 1 and Game 2. Those were the 2 games that I watched. Now, I follow the team still. I follow up on every game online, on the apps that I have, using the internet, whatever, you know, box scores, rumors, the trades they've made. I just cannot bring myself to watch the Red Sox. It's not because of how the game is. There's no fans, obviously, but that's not stopping me or anyone else from watching, you know, basketball or hockey or football, whatever, the Patriots. It's just, they're so bad. They're so bad. I've never seen the Red Sox this bad. Like, they are legitimately tanking. But the problem is they're not doing a good enough job at tanking. That's the problem. Well, I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. And it's really upsetting. Like, if they want to lose and have the number 1 pick, that's perfectly fine by me. That happens sometimes. The Celtics have done it. The Patriots won't do it as long as Bill Belichick's the coach, and the Celtics haven't been this bad since right before they drafted Marcus Smart. And even then, that got them the 6th pick. It's different, though, with the lotteries in basketball and hockey. But baseball, man, they don't have a lottery, and the Red Sox are right there with the number one pick, but they're not going to get it. The Pittsburgh Pirates are just they're even worse than the Red Sox. The Red Sox could have lost more games. Every time the Pirates won a game, the Red Sox had the opportunity to lose and they'll win. This series with the Yankees, game 1 at least it shouldn't even have been this close. It really shouldn't. They shouldn't be in games like that. In the game, it should be a blowout for the Yankees. Literally, if the Yankees destroyed the Red Sox in every game this year, I wouldn't care. And I never thought I'd hear that come out of my mouth, but that's what needs to be done. There's 2 pitchers from Vanderbilt. I'm going to find their names for you real quick. It's just they need to get one of these guys. I mean, it would be great if they could get the number 1 guy, which is Kumar Rocker. What a name, first of all. That's a great name. But he's supposed to be one of the best prospects or pitching prospects in recent memory, apparently. That's what he is. He's one of the most hyped pitching prospects, I think, since Steven Strasburg, which is a huge deal. His teammate, Jack Leiter, trying to pronounce that correctly, they both go to Vanderbilt. They're projected to be the number 1 and the number 2 picks. I will take either one. If we get Jack Leiter at number 2, that's great. Just get the number 2 pick, please. That's the problem here. That's the issue. They've won too many games. The season's almost over. The 60-game shortened MLB season because of coronavirus is almost over. Playoff teams are getting set. It's almost done. The Red Sox aren't for sure going to be one of those teams. They're gone. Trading Mookie Betts was a horrible idea. The moves that they made at the trade deadline were okay. They could have done more. They should have done more at the trade deadline. It's too late for that. Maybe they can do it in this off season. That would be great, but it's just they didn't do enough, and they haven't lost enough. The Red Sox have not lost enough games, which is not good. And here's another problem, potentially. Reading this from a quote online. The latest on the 2021 MLB draft. From an MLB source, is that the commissioner will discuss with the owners if the order will stay in reverse order of the standings. So, obviously the worst team to the best team, because there's no lottery. It's like the NFL. As it is every year, or use some other system, perhaps including 2019 results to determine the order. Now, if that happens, that's a really, really bad break for the Red Sox. Really bad. Because the Red Sox had the 17th pick in the draft, this past draft. So they were right in the middle of the pack. If they combine, if MLB, the commissioner, if Rob Manfred combines the 2019 season and the 2020 shortened season together to determine the results of the 2021 MLB draft order, the Red Sox are going to be maybe the 9th pick, 8th or 9th, I believe, if my math is correct. So back end of the top 10, which isn't bad, but that's not what this season was for. This season was for getting a top pick, top 3, top 5 pick in the draft, and getting a cornerstone pitcher, because that's what they need. They really need a cornerstone starting pitcher prospect. And that's what these top 2 guys are, because after Rocker and Leiter, from Vanderbilt, once they're gone, it's really more position players and hitters, which is great, but it's not what the Red Sox need right now. I guess they could in a couple spots, but that's something that can be resolved any other way. They need a young stud pitcher, and they've really taken themselves out of the running with this. If they lost more games, cool, then they're up a little further. They probably don't get the number 1 or number 2 pick still, but it's just, I hate seeing this. They needed to lose more games. I hate losing, but that's the fact. This team is a disgrace right now. This is the Boston Red Sox. In our lifetime, most of the young people watching this, they've won 4 championships. It's more than the Celtics. That's more than the Bruins. It really is a shame. I don't like talking about them like this, but and maybe the offseason goes differently. Maybe there's signings or trades that change my mind, but it looks like it's going to be more of the same next season too. If there is one, obviously, all things considered, or if it's shortened again or whatever. It's so bad. It's so bad. I hate it. I hate seeing them like this. It's so bad. Andrew Benintendi is not the player we thought he was. JD Martinez is not the player we thought he was this year. Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, like those guys should stay. Alex Verdugo. I've already said keep those guys in previous videos. I'm checked out. We're checked out. I don't blame you if you are checked out, because the Red Sox are checked out, but they're not checked out enough. That's the problem. That is the problem. Hopefully this team can turn it around and I don't have to make another video like this, another disheartening video like this, because I really don't like doing this. This was really just like a rant video, basically, so this is all I really have. I think I covered as much as I could. The trades are awful. The team is awful. The signings are awful. The draft picks are awful. The prospects, the farm system, they're awful. The winning too much is awful. The not losing enough is awful. Everything's awful with the Boston Red Sox. Luckily, we have we had the Bruins before they imploded. We have the Celtics. We have the Patriots, just to take our minds off of it. But once the Celtics once their season is done, whether they win or don't win, we have the Patriots and the Red Sox. The Patriots are once a week. Actually, I'm sorry. What am I saying? I forgot. It's a shortened season, and the Red Sox are done. The Red Sox are done. We don't have the Red Sox. We're just going to have the Patriots at some point. We could have had the Red Sox if they were good. All right. I'm sorry about that rant. Thank you guys for listening. It needed to be done. It needed to be done. There's football today. I hope everyone does well in their fantasy football matchups, unless you're watching this and you're my opponent. I'll try to have the waiver wire rankings and the week 3 positional rankings out definitely at an earlier time than I did last week. As we all know, there was some technical issues going on with YouTube. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support, as I say every video. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.